CBP-1 is the new process which started with Biden administration. And the goal of CBP-1 process is to avoid disorderly process of entry of immigrants, undocumented immigrants, non-citizens into the United States through our southern border. So in the past, as you all know, we had thousands and thousands of undocumented immigrants coming to the United States without inspection through U.S. border, where they would be either harmed or hurt themselves because they're trying to jump over the fence or go through very burdensome process through the deserts or swim around across the river Rio Grande. So all of that was very disorderly. The United States had no control and no information who's entering the country. As you all know, the previous administration tried to build a wall, which wasn't financed and budgeted sufficiently, so that didn't accomplish anything. And all of the prior administrations were also trying to find some kind of solution. Now, that's not to say that Biden administration found the solution to the problem at the southern border, but at least they came up with something for the time being, where the United States now knows who's entering the United States, entering the country through the southern border, because all of the entrants are going through this inspection process where they have an appointment with a CBP border officer who accepts and verifies their identification, looks at their ID documents, biographical documents, processes them, and allows them to enter the U.S. Now, that process, CBP-1, doesn't just allow you to enter the U.S. and stay here indefinitely. Anyone who enters with the CBP-1 process, they will end up in immigration court. So once they're released, they're given papers, summons to appear in immigration court for removal proceedings, and unless they qualify for some kind of relief, which most of the time what they're going to be applying for is going to be asylum or withholding of removal or relief under Convention Against Torture, claiming that they will be tortured in their country, then they can remain in the U.S., then can become permanent residents, and then down the road citizens, and they can bring their immediate family members. But those who don't qualify, they will get an order of removal, order of deportation, and eventually will be deported from the United States, again, unless they file or find some kind of form of relief. So this is what the CBP-1 process is. Now, the logistics of CBP-1, I thoroughly discussed in multiple videos, which we will be gradually posting on the logistics of CBP-1. There is lots of answer and question session where I answer the questions about the procedures and logistics of how to use CBP-1 app, whether it will stay here forever. And I'll repeat here again, the CBP-1 app is the easiest process to enter the United States historically for someone who doesn't have a visa. And, that gives you the easy, fast, orderly entry into the U.S. without being detained, and ability to apply for form of relief for asylum or protection in the United States. And it's not going to stay here forever. It will end. At one point, it will end. This is an interim process until the U.S. federal government finds a better way to process and not just let everybody in. Because currently under CBP-1, the positive side is that it's orderly United States for the United States. I mean, for immigrants, the positive side is that it's a very easy process. Everybody enters, almost no detention whatsoever. There is easy entry. You get called to the immigration court and you get heard and you can present your case. And again, historically, there has not been such easy process. Now, for the United States as a country, for the United States, for us, it is, not as an immigration lawyer, but as a citizen of the United States, the plus side is that we know who's coming to the U.S. We get to inspect and verify their identity. They're not, digging holes under the U.S. southern border. They're not jumping on the fence or swimming across the river. It's also a more humane way, so people don't, die or suffer in the hands of coyotes, the cartels or individuals who are, taking advantage of these non-citizens and, helping them to cross illegally the border. So that's the positive side. The downside is there is this influx, although we do see who's entering, but we don't know necessarily because there is not much thorough inspection or questioning at the border. So that's why, there is no, and it's not guaranteed that everybody will show up in immigration court. So still, there may be some kind of danger to national security. The people who are entering the U.S., some of them may not be, in the best interest of the United States. But for you guys, for immigrants, that's the best thing to do. Is if you have basis for asylum, and I highlight this, if you have basis, if you have a form of relief or for protection in the United States, then use this opportunity because you will never get this again in the future. It's just going to be tougher, tighter, and it's not going to work the same way. Right now is the best chance for anybody who wants to come to the U.S. to apply for asylum to use this opportunity to do so, because that's not going to last forever. There is already litigation in courts, and the Republicans are suing the administration to try to close this program.